Now on CoastTV News.
Tourism troubles brewing as we wrap up a holiday weekend at our beaches. Why there is concern about vacation-related businesses. Summertime blues, the fun and unique way Bethany Beach is saying goodbye to the season.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Pensick and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. We're going to check out the traffic situation. It's getaway day for many folks who visited over the weekend. You can see some volume there. This is moments ago, Coastal Highway, and that's just north of the Split, heading away from the city. And we're now taking a live look at the Bay Bridge in Maryland. Many cars traveling over there this weekend. But right now, flow looking pretty good. This is a live shot, westbound traffic heading to Anne Arundel County as visitors make their way back to their homes near Washington and Baltimore. New this morning, a crash on the Route 90 bridge. It caused it to shut down for about 45 minutes. The video you're seeing here is when the entire bridge was closed. The early reports we have is that the crash occurred in the westbound lane. According to the Maryland Transportation Authority, the crash involved 4 vehicles. By 10:15, the MTA no longer listed it as an active situation. Smaller lodging businesses are noticing a smaller number of guests in Ocean City. According to some hotels CoastTV spoke with, they are bracing for a quieter Labor Day weekend compared to last year. According to the recent July report, overall, numbers for hotel stays have gone up compared to last July. The executive director of the Ocean City Hotel Motel Restaurant Association says those numbers don't paint the entire picture.
The oceanfront and the chain properties are doing fine, and that's what the numbers that we've seen are showing us, because that's all that's being measured are those chain properties. So some of the people who are calling me directly would be some of the smaller mom and pop motels who their numbers are not reported, so we don't actually know what the real numbers are.
While the sun is getting low on summer hotels on Delmarva, they're hoping to get another big bump when crowds show up for Oceans Calling and the Country Calling music festivals. Later today in Bethany Beach, it is the traditional farewell to the summer season with the annual Bethany Beach Jazz Funeral. It's on the boardwalk. It's highlighted by the Jazz Funeral Irregulars and the Dixie Cats. Funeral procession goes from the north end of the boardwalk to the Bethany Bandstand, led by mourners carrying a casket with a decorated mannequin representing the end of summer 2025. It's scheduled to begin at 5:30 p.m. Now, right now, we're getting a live look at the Labor Day late morning scene in Rehoboth Beach. Some people still on the beach there. Our First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey joins us now with a look at First Alert weather. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Matt. I see a lot of folks on the beach, but not in the water because it's cool. Look at this, lower 70s from Rehoboth to Bethany Beach and Lewis. You get in the shade and with the breeze. Not exactly inviting beach weather for sure on this Labor Day. Otherwise, lower 70s inland areas, 75 in Salisbury right now, but the breeze really kicking up. We just saw whitecaps on the ocean on that camera shot, gusting over 20 miles per hour right now, gusting to 24 Indian River Inlet, 22 in Georgetown, and 21 in Seaford, as we are seeing some cumulus clouds popping up, fair weather cumulus clouds moving onshore with that northeast breeze. And it's a chilly breeze as we have high pressure to the north across southeast Canada and New England, and that continues to pump in the cool air. Any kind of clouds or rain are offshore, but this high will be dominating our weather really the rest of the week. So for your Labor Day, it's going to be breezy, mid-70s inland, struggling to get into the mid-70s at the beaches, probably about 70 to 75 there with mid to upper 70s inland. Looks like it's going to be the strongest winds occurring at the coast, but I think everybody's going to see the breezy conditions. So if you are cooking out this afternoon, that looks good. Make sure everything is anchored down because napkins and plates could go flying with the breeze. 1 p.m. 73, mid-70s at 4, and by 7, 67. Coming up in weather, I'll have much more on the Labor Day forecast. So what to expect the rest of the week coming up a little bit later on.
All right, thank you, Bob. New this morning, we're getting information about a kayak rescue by the Ocean City Fire Department on Sunday afternoon. According to the department, the call was received shortly after 2:30 p.m. for an overturned kayak in the Chincoteague Bay. A kayaker issued a Mayday call on VHF radio. It's not clear if this was the kayaker who was in distress. Department officials say the U.S. Coast Guard, Maryland Natural Resources Police, and Towboat USA also responded. The kayak was located and the boater is safe. With the drop in crime in Washington, D.C. after President Trump brought in the National Guard, talks of expanding that action into other big U.S. cities continues. Maryland's Governor Wes Moore controls his state's National Guard. Moore says he wants federal support, but calls the National Guard deployment in Maryland, quote, completely performative.
How it breaks for anybody who is coming up in our community and doesn't feel safe in their own neighborhood, because I know what that feels like. I would love more federal support, but federal support on things that actually make sense and not things that are performative.
Governor Moore says if asked what President Trump could do to help Maryland, his answer, quote, increase funding for local law enforcement and invest in community groups and community organizations. Happening now in Afghanistan, the search of missing loved ones after a strong earthquake killed some 800 people and injured more than 2,500 in eastern Afghanistan. According to the Taliban government, the 6.0 magnitude quake late Sunday caused extensive damage. Videos showed rescuers taking injured people from stretchers, from collapsed buildings, and onto helicopters. Georgetown community will gather today, as they've done on this date for several years now, and that is to honor Chad Spicer. It's taking place at 4:30 p.m. at the Circle for a wreath-laying ceremony in memory of Spicer. He was killed in the line of duty on September 1st, 2009. And this year's remembrance comes as discussions continue about restoring Spicer's memorial. Now, you may remember the Spicer Memorial was damaged back in 2023. Georgetown police say it happened when a drunk driver crashed into it. Now the town is considering next steps. They've been discussing on possibly moving the memorial to another area in town. Many, including Spicer's daughter, urged council members to keep the memorials in the town center. Mayor Bill West said the idea to move them came from safety concerns, but added they could still stay at the Circle. Today's the first day of hunting season in Delaware, and over the weekend we learned of a Delaware judge's decision to strike down a rule that would have required 18 to 21-year-olds to hunt under adult supervision. The Superior Court ruled that Delaware's constitutional right to bear arms applies to anyone 18 and up, and that means starting this hunting season, young adults can head out by themselves. The now blocked rule was part of a 2022 law that hadn't yet taken effect. Coming up, sales in September, why we could see mixed results for beach businesses after Labor Day. CoastTV News Midday is back after this. And we've referenced several times now that Labor Day weekend is widely considered the unofficial end to the summer season. Things on the coast tend to slow down after this. CoastTV News spoke to some beach businesses who had mixed experiences on what the long weekend means to them. Some in Rehoboth Beach tell us after this weekend, sales start to nosedive, but interestingly, in Lewis, one store says that's not always the case.
At our store, September is our biggest month, followed by October. And so we are looking forward to the next 2 months, and then before you know it, you're into holiday, and that's a whole other great, opportunity.
And the co-owner of Surf Shack in Rehoboth Beach told Coast TV this weekend marks the time when sales really start to go down, and especially selling summer items like bathing suits, towels, and sunscreen. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 8, it is episode 1 of Pro Foot Volleyball, and that is followed by Outdoors Delmarva at 10:30.
We have an outstanding Labor Day in progress in Laurel. 72 puffy fair weather cumulus clouds. It's just on the cool side with the breeze, struggling to get into the mid-70s. So a cool Labor Day, not exactly great beach and pool weather for sure. Staying cool through midweek and then warmer late week with a slight chance of showers on Friday. Congratulations to Trace Rosetto from Rehoboth Beach. She has a new umbrella. From Paul Davis and Coast TV, your full forecast is coming up next. Typically, Labor Day is the unofficial end to summer, but I tell you what, it feels like summer ended like 2 weeks ago with these cool conditions, and it continues into our Labor Day. It's breezy and cool. And look at this gorgeous shot on the FH Fur Camp. We've got a boat moving out into the bay. 72 in Cambridge and only struggling to get into the mid-70s today. We are a good 5 to 8 degrees below average. So we have the sunshine, some clouds. It's mild with mid to some upper 70s well inland and a moderate river rip current risk. Haven't seen anybody in the water because it is so breezy and cool there, but really be careful out there. Late week, the humidity comes up. It's highs in the 80s with a cold front Friday and a slight chance for a shower. But I think at the beaches, it's mainly low 70s, possibly upper 70s, but really not a great beach day. It's breezy. Water temperatures mid 70s, so it's actually warmer than the air temperature. UV index is high. Once again, rip current risk is moderate and waves around 2 to 4 feet. So really be careful out there if you are venturing into the water. Lower 70s at the beaches and lower 70s inland too. So uniform temperatures, Georgetown 72 and Millsboro and Dagsboro at 70. And it's breezy out there. Sustained winds over 20 miles per hour, even inland spots now, gusting to 22 at Georgetown, 24 at Indian River Inlet. We've got a lot of whitecaps out there, so not exactly inviting in the ocean right now to go out there. As we are seeing cumulus clouds across Delmarva, we have high pressure locked in to our north, and that has us into a northeast flow. We have clouds and showers offshore, but this area of high pressure is sprawling all the way across the northeast to the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic, keeping all the clouds and showers away, and that high will be anchored to our northeast really the next several days, keeping us high and dry. Here's Futurecast, mid-70s by noon inland areas, pretty much low 70s along the beaches. Here's 3 p.m. 73 Bethany Beach, Rehoboth 75 with mids to some upper 70s inland. Make sure you have your jacket this evening. It's cooling off. And we could see some fog or low clouds tomorrow morning, maybe keeping our temperatures up a little bit. But I think we'll see some 50s with these 60s. And then a mix of sun and clouds Tuesday afternoon, much like today. Mid-70s, cooler at the coast. And by Wednesday morning, looking at temperatures dipping into the 50s with highs in the 70s, maybe 80 in Salisbury, but definitely cooler at the coast. As we're looking at northeast winds over 20 miles per hour this afternoon, they do lighten up a little bit as we go into Tuesday, but they're still onshore as we have this area of high pressure pretty much locked over us right through Thursday, keeping all the wet weather away and keeping us high and dry. And our humidity levels comfortable through about Wednesday and then becoming quite humid by the end of the week as our flow turns to the south and only a slight chance of a shower as we go into Thursday and Friday. But right now, not a great chance for rain. We need the rain, really not going to see much. 77 in Lewis and Laurel today, feeling cooler with that northeast wind, upper 70s for the eastern shore, and around Salisbury, upper 70s for you. Ocean City 75. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, warming temperatures from the 70s into the 80s beginning Thursday, some showers Friday 84, and I think it clears out for the first weekend of September. 83 Saturday, mostly sunny Sunday, and a high of 77.
All right, thank you, Bob. Happening this weekend, the Shore Living Expo. The event celebrates health, wealth, and home on Delmarva. The free family-friendly event takes place Saturday, September 6th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Up next, billion-dollar prize. That's the jackpot on the line tonight for Powerball. How much you could win by taking the lump sum payout. Coast TV News Midday returns in a moment. Happening tonight, another Powerball drawing after there were no winners over the weekend, and this means players will have another chance to go for the billion-dollar Powerball jackpot. Lump sum payout estimated at $344 million. Artificial intelligence is coming for entry-level workers. A study from Stanford University published last week shows early career employees are most at risk of being replaced by AI. Workers between the ages of 22 and 25 looking to begin careers in software engineering and customer service are most immediately impacted, according to the research. Some big news for the future of science in the first state. Delaware State University receiving an award of nearly $800,000 from the National Science Foundation to expand STEM education programs. DSU officials say the funding will help build a diverse community of highly qualified educators and address teacher shortages in the state and beyond. Still ahead, medical misinformation, the findings in a new survey that are troubling for doctors. Stay with us on Coast TV News Midday. A new survey finds that medical misinformation appears to be on the upswing, both online and within the walls of medical exam rooms, according to the Physicians Foundation, a nonprofit research group. 61% of doctors said they encountered patients influenced by misinformation or disinformation a moderate amount or a great deal of the time over the past year. The online survey of more than 1,000 physicians was conducted in May and did not ask about specific types of information, but its respondents included a cross-section of the medical profession. Doctors may soon have a new way to treat high blood pressure. A new drug called Baxdrostat has shown promise in treating people with uncontrolled high blood pressure in a recent trial. Researchers say if the federal government approves it, the medicine developed by AstraZeneca would be one of the first new approaches to treating high blood pressure in decades. Nearly half of all students in the U.S., or half of all adults, I should say, in the U.S. have higher than normal blood pressure. Beach cleanup days are back in Ocean City this September, giving volunteers a chance to help get the trash off the shoreline. Organizers say events are scheduled every Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m. starting September 2nd. Locations change each week. Some include Northside Park and 13th Street at First Presbyterian Church.
A live look into Lewis, seeing a lot of white caps on Delaware Bay. It's windy, it's cool, low 70s at the coast, only topping out in the low to mid 70s. The unofficial end to summer is feeling like fall. Not exactly great beach and pool weather, and staying cool through midweek, then warming up late week with a slight chance of showers Friday. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Your 10-day forecast is coming up next. If one of your activities this Labor Day is cooking out, boy, does that food look good. Make sure you have a sweatshirt. It's going to be chilly with only temperatures warming into the mid 70s by 4 p.m. Feeling cooler with the breeze, upper 60s at 7, and then getting cool again tonight, back into the mid 50s. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, still chilly Tuesday into Wednesday, mid to upper 70s and overnight lows in the 50s. Finally getting back to close to normal Thursday, sunshine 82, a few showers Friday. Right now not looking significant with the front there, 84. First half of the weekend is warm, and then it cools down again into Sunday. More 70s next week, maybe some showers on Monday.
All right, thanks, Bob, and thank you for being with us on Coast TV News Midday. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us later for Coast TV News at 5. Until then, have a great Monday, everybody.